Today, we're talking about how your LinkedIn profile may be delaying your career success. First, I want to talk about what the heck is career success. My personal belief is that there are 5 different stages of it. And if you're here today, go ahead and drop in the chat. Let me know what your definition of career success is, because a lot of things go into it. And I'm always interested to see what you guys think. And I also want to know like where you are. So as I'm dropping like the 5 stages of career success, drop something in the chat. Let me know where you are, which stage you're in. So from my perspective, the first stage of career success is when you're looking for professional growth. You may have left school, you may have, gotten some education, you may have done something, and you're wanting to grow, right? You're looking for some ability to do more. I mean, probably 90% of people who are looking for new jobs, who's trying to do something different in their career, a lot of the things that people say is that they're looking for growth. So I think that's the first phase. The second phase is once you've figured out how to grow, right? You've learned 2 or 3 different skills. You're like, I can learn anything. Then you start looking for financial stability. And, it's a natural progression of needs, because now you know that you're actually good at something, and you want to make sure that I'm using my time effectively, that, I'm putting all this effort into something. Am I actually receiving the fruits of that labor? So I think after you've found, had a taste of professional growth, now you're looking for that financial stability. After you have the financial stability, now you start looking for the intangibles. And the intangibles, the first intangible I think you're looking for is recognition. Because, now you're working on the cool things that you want to work on. You're making the money that you think you deserve, or you're almost there, close to it. And now you're like, I know that I'm doing okay and that I'm doing great. What do other people think? How can I elevate this growth and this financial stability? I need other people to get on board with what I already know. So then you start looking for recognition. And then the next 2 phases are, work-life balance and fulfillment. Those are also intangibles, because, once you know the skills, you're making the money, other people know you have the skills too. Now you're like, maybe I don't want to work so hard. Or how do I figure out how to work and have a family? Or how do I figure out how to work and follow my passion or start my business or whatever? Because typically those are the things where you may find fulfillment. A lot of us, I personally spent, 10, maybe 8 years in an automation career, and I wasn't exactly fulfilled. So, around that, 5 to 8 year mark, I started looking around, and I'm like, I know I can do the work. It's paying me decent money. Other people think I'm great at this job, but it's like, what do I need to actually feel good about waking up in the morning and coming to this job every day? So those are the 5 stages that I believe are of career success. So just to recap, because the 5 stages are professional growth, financial stability, recognition, work-life balance, and then fulfillment. And so what does all that mean, right? We know what career success is. We know there are 5 stages of it. How can your LinkedIn profile possibly be delaying those stages? And I believe so heavily on the fact that, your LinkedIn isn't just for when you're looking for a job. It isn't just for when, I need to go apply for a job real quick. I don't want them to see a blank page, right? You really need to be cultivating this, because people are looking at your LinkedIn story, your LinkedIn profile, to understand your story. And if they can't understand your story, I think that's a clear sign that, you have some work to do on your profile. But I have 3 ways how to tell if your profile is helping or hurting. So the first way you can tell is your goal clear, right? If your goal is not clear, of the stage that you're in, the stage that you're going for, if it's not clear on your profile, then it's hurting you. How do you know if it's clear? I always talk about how you need to have your LinkedIn headline needs to be, super, super clear. Not just, I have an MBA, but it's like, what are you here to do? Why do you have this LinkedIn profile up? What do you want people to think, feel, and receive from visiting your page? And just personally, I was talking about in the first 5 years of my career, right? I was in the growth phase, and that's pretty typical for most people, right? You're just getting your footing. You're still trying to get really good at something. And so what I did with my LinkedIn profile when I was in the growth phase, searching, for career success by growing, what I focused on heavily on my LinkedIn profile is what I learned and how I used it. And so I see, a lot of people on LinkedIn like engaging with other people's content and, posting content. But what you're posting and the comments that you put out there, it should be reflective of where you are and what you're trying to accomplish as well. So, if you're trying to become a project manager and you just had some cool experience and you worked on a project, and you got some great results, you should be talking about that kind of stuff on your profile and in your post. So if you're in a growth phase, what I think you should be working on is, and what you should be displaying from your profile is what you learned and how you've used it. So you're basically explaining through demonstration that like, I know these things. And what's even better is like, I want to learn something new. Watch me learn something new, because I always say doing is sexy. So it's like, if you want to pivot in your career, it'd be great if you can take us on the journey of like you learning these new skills and getting these new experiences and things like that. So if your goal is not clear, that's one of the first ways to know that your LinkedIn profile may be delaying your career success. The second way to know is that your accomplishments are not clear. What have you done? And I know it's hard for a lot of people to even come up with things that they've done, but we've all done something well. We've all saved the day. We've all, finished an assignment that added value to someone somewhere. What are your accomplishments, right? You're not just here on LinkedIn to say, I worked at these companies from 2019 to 2020, right? Like, that doesn't help anybody understand what you did, what you accomplished. And you also want to talk, more than just what the job description says, right? The job description just says what your responsibilities were. But that also doesn't tell us what you accomplished. So I always like to help people pull out what those accomplishments were and how can we highlight that. And I always talk about like the benefits versus the features, right? The features are just what you did. If you were a project manager, you managed the schedule, you managed the budget, you communicated with vendors, right? Those are the features. But what were the benefits that the company gained from you performing those tasks, right? Did you save time? Did you save money? What were the benefits? The benefits are your accomplishments. So that's the cheat code to figuring out what your accomplishments were and making those very clear on your LinkedIn profile. I don't think you should even be talking about features at all. That needs to be a minimal area of concern in your profile. You need to be talking about benefits. And for me, like when I was coming out of my MBA program, the stage of career growth that I focused on at that time was financial stability. Why? Because I had racked up over $100,000 in student debt, and I was like, I got to pay this back. And, if I'm going to go take another job, I'm going to use this opportunity to make a huge leap in my finances to get stable, to be able to pay the loan back, to all those things. So when you want to focus on the financial aspect of your career success, all you want to be talking about is value, benefits, value. What I did led to this. What I accomplished resulted in this. That's all you want to be talking about is value, value, value. Because when people can see your value, now they can start to, make sense of, the financial ask, or, raising your value, when you want to go negotiate. When you're talking about value, now you have some sake of argument. Has anybody ever been in a negotiation and, people, you have to basically advocate for yourself. And the first thing you can think about is like, I want to make more money, like just because. Let me know in the comments what your experience has been like with negotiating and proving your value. But that's something very important that you got to focus on if you're looking for some financial stability. You got to learn and nail down how to exude the value, right? Because it's one thing to have to tell people, what you think you're worth. That's one thing, but it's another for them to perceive what you think you're worth because of everything that you have displayed in your profile and your branding and everything like that. The third way that your profile may be delaying your career success is that you don't have enough relevant or attractive information for anyone to form an opinion about you other than the facts. I was actually speaking with one of my clients yesterday, and she was getting ready for an interview. And, everything that she was saying was very factual. It was very textbook. It was very to the point. But that's not what you want to do when you're looking for career success, when you're looking for a new job. You have to paint the picture. You have to help people see what you're saying, feel what you're saying, have an emotional reaction to what you're saying. And one of the examples that came to mind for me about that is Ariana Huffington, editor-in-chief of Huffington Post. She has a million things she could be talking about, right? But in the phase of her career, right, she has the growth, she has the ability. She's working on intangibles only at this point. She is choosing to talk about the importance of sleep. Right? And that's a way, for people to get to know who she is, who this person is about. So it's like what I can perceive from a person who has achieved success, and now they're talking about sleep and how important it is, and how burnout isn't the right route to go. That says to me that this is a person who has great work ethic. They've achieved some great things, and they want to continue operating from a place of, effectiveness, but they don't want to kill themselves to do it. And that signals to, potential employers and everyone that like, you're a real person. And so like the jobs where they are looking for you to work, nights and weekends and this and that, they're probably not going to approach you. And that's exactly what you want, right? You want people to approach you with opportunities that are aligned with where you are. So if you're in a season of career success where you're working on the intangibles, you have to give a little bit up about who you are and your personality and what's important to you so that you can make sure you're getting those aligned opportunities. So those are the three ways that I think you should be looking into to make sure that your profile and your branding and everything that you're putting out about yourself is aligning with the stage of career success that you are trying to pursue. I'm going to go ahead and check and see if you guys got any questions. I know there's one here, but go ahead and drop your questions there. And so if you'd like my help with aligning your profile and your branding to align that to where you're trying to go, what stage of success are you seeking right now? If you'd like my help helping you to position yourself for the next phase of career success, go ahead and drop I need this in the chat, because there are a couple different ways I can help you. The first would be one-on-one coaching with my Career Brand Accelerator, where we get your brand set up and fully aligned for you to pursue career opportunities. And the second thing that I introduced last week is that I have a Rebrand Yourself on LinkedIn package, where we go through your LinkedIn profile, we pull out, help you do all of these things, set your clear goal, make sure your accomplishments are clear, to make sure that you're attracting the opportunities that you truly desire, because I don't believe in applying for jobs online. So if you want to get out of the black hole of applying for jobs and, not hearing back and not having the right people pop up in your inbox looking for you, then go ahead and drop I need this in the chat, and we can talk about, which of those are best for you. What I do is I help STEM professionals cure career stagnation by pivoting into new roles and elevating their career without applying for tons of jobs online, without getting extra degrees, without getting certifications that just won't help. So that's who I am. That's what I do. Today, I'm offering to help with positioning your profile and your brand for the phase of career success that you are seeking. Drop I need this in the chat or shoot me a DM, and we can talk about what the next steps are for you and how we can get this thing done. So till next week, guys. Bye.